All right, so the next wide receiver on, or according to NFL Mock Draft Database in the NFL draft order, would be Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, projected at pick 28. So this is another, maybe he slips out of the first round, out of night 1, into night 2. The Browns take him at 33, or maybe he's sitting there around that pick 28, and the Browns say, hey, that's only 5 spots away. Let's trade up. Let's get him. Let's lock him in. And for me, I would say yes, yes, and more hell yes. Give me Emeka Egbuka, 6'1", 200 pounds, 22 years old. In 2024, 106 targets, 81 receptions, 1,011 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He had 476 yards after the catch. That was 47% of his production came after the catch. 5.9 yards after catch per reception. That's a little lower, but still not bad because the total yak yardage was very nice. And he had a 2.51 yards per route run. Egbuka had just a 7.9 ADOT, so his average depth of target was not too far down the field. He did run 81% of his snaps out of the slot, so he is primarily a slot receiver. He had 5 drops on the season with a 59.1% contested catch rate. His NFL draft profile: fluid athlete with good and quality ball skills who works primarily from the slot. Egbuka runs his routes with tempo and pace. He does a nice job of influencing coverage when needed. He lacks the explosiveness to race past the coverage and is a little tight in his hips getting in and out of breaks. Egbuka's baseball background shows up with his laser-focused ball tracking and ability to make sudden adjustments to bring throws in for a safe landing. He was an outfielder in baseball. He's not elusive or sudden after the catch, but is competitive and can squeeze out additional yardage. Egbuka projects as an early starter at slot for teams running heavy amounts of 3 wide receiver sets. I love Emeka Egbuka's football IQ. Obviously, you guys see the Sports Illustrated covers in the background here. I'm an Ohio State fan, Ohio State alum. I love my Buckeyes, but it's not like it's, a bad team that I'm being a homer for. They're the national champions. They have some of the best players in the nation coming into the NFL right now this season. So Emeka Egbuka is one of those. And, for me, his ceiling, if he really truly hits in the NFL, like if he reaches the pinnacle of what his abilities are, you're looking at a guy who could be like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, and what Amon-Ra St. Brown offers and provides for the Detroit Lions, that toughness, that reliability. He's not a burner down the sideline. He's not the big, massive, physical receiver, but he is a damn good possession slot receiver. Get him the ball in space and he can make things happen. That's exactly what I see Egbuka becoming. Lance Zierlein at NFL says he comps him to Jackson Smith and Jigba, another Ohio State Buckeye. But even if Egbuka only reaches his floor, I feel like you've got yourself maybe like a Jarvis Landry light type of player, and that would even be what the Browns need with Jeudy and Tillman kind of on the outside, and you let Egbuka just be the dominator in the slot with David Njoku also roaming the middle of the field. That would be really, really awesome to see in Cleveland. So over to Fantasy Pros break down the primer for Emeka Egbuka. His yards per route run in 2024 ranked 38th in the class. His receiving grade was 19th. Sorry, not in the class, in the entire country. His yards after catch were 16th. Now, if you go, let's see. You look at the career, 73.2% out of the slot, and he did deal with an ankle injury in 2023 that required a tightrope procedure in December. Okay, but it obviously didn't affect him here in 24. He had a great season. Emeka Egbuka's 2023 and early 2024 seasons were impacted by his ankle injury and subsequent tightrope procedure. And Egbuka still produced in 2024, but this has to be mentioned when discussing his analytics and overall performance. Egbuka has underrated speed. While he is not a burner by any stretch of the imagination, he can get downfield and create yak with his legs. I don't foresee Egbuka moving or making a living off of yak ability in its purest form or his skills as a field stretcher, but he does offer some value in these areas. Now, Egbuka is not elite yak threat or tackle breaker since 2022. He never eclipsed 7.1 yards after the catch per reception or 10 missed tackles in any season. Now, that's not to say he is a zero in either category, but these traits are more of a thin sliver of icing on the cake of his skill set. Man, Fantasy Pros, you guys do some nice write-ups here. Continuing on, Egbuka is a route running wizard. This is what I like about him. He has the necessary strength, speed, release package, and savvy to win from the perimeter, but that's not where you want him playing from the most of his snaps. Egbuka plays through contact well in his routes while offering the hand fighting and upper body strength to deal with physical corners. Egbuka has the quick feet to dice up corners in the short and intermediate areas of the field. His fluid hips, bend, and laser sharp feet allow him to carve up zone coverage with slants, crossers, routes, deep overs, and more. Egbuka's hands are quite good. While he has a 5.5% drop rate in college, I think his 54.3 contested catch rate is more indicative of his trusty mitts. Emeka Egbuka would be excellent on the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion. So that's a guy that I'm keeping my eye on. After the Browns take their quarterback, damn it, you guys are taking a quarterback at 2. After they take their quarterback at 2, I will be watching the rest of night 1 to see who falls out of the first round. And the top guy on my list is Emeka Egbuka.